Hi there, I'm Connor McNeil here with Matt Dunn and John Zwislak, and we're here to talk today about if the DH and the MLB should both be on the NL and AL side. So which one of you like to start off today?
I'll start off
All
and just
right.
say right now that there should be universal DH. It creates more runs. Runs create money.
Yes,
The
they
MLB
do.
They create the people want to see runs, and then when the people turn on the TV, they create money for the MLB, and it just makes it more fun for everyone.
All right, that's a valid point. What do you guys say about that, Matt?
I gotta disagree with that because I think in an already offensive-driven league where there's almost an over-representation of just offense, I think that it would take out a lot of strategy in the MLB that's been there for ages, and it kind of destroys the game to put a universal DH in. I think the idea of putting a DH would simply just eliminate. I mean, the AL managers already have an oversimplified job, and I think putting it in the NL just almost completely gets rid of the manager position besides just pitching changes.
All right. So then, would you, John, would you agree that if you were to bat a pitcher ninth, or eighth in the lineup, do you believe that that is a strategic move by NL skippers?
I guess so. Like batting them 8th or 9th. Like, I honestly, I believe that if you put the DH in instead of the pitcher, it just makes it more fun. What do people like to see? Runs. Would you rather watch a game that's 9-6, or would you rather watch a game that's 2-1 that is slow? It takes 3.5 hours. I mean, I know I'd rather watch the game that has a lot of runs.
Yeah. So then, Matt, since you are, yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I take a lot of enjoyment in watching the strategy of a game and seeing almost like a chess match between two managers, and I think getting rid of the DH would completely eliminate that. And with, as you said, hitting a pitcher 9th, 8th, I'm kind of in the Gabe Kapler mentality that hitting a pitcher 8th is nice because then you can have two leadoff hitters with the 9 and the 1. So I'm in favor of that, and that'll be my answer to that question.
And sometimes you can also bat Roman Quinn in that 8th spot with your pitcher. Yeah, it makes total sense. Well, good points from both sides. But now we're going to move on to our second point, which is since we are all Philadelphians, we love Philadelphia baseball, Eagles, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about is Chase Utley a Hall of Famer? What do you guys think? Matt, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm going to take the yes side of that because I think in a career that was plagued by knee injuries, which it did. I mean, he lost multiple years because of that. I think he had three seasons with 30-plus home runs, 4 seasons with 100-plus RBIs. I think in like a 5-6 year span, he had one of the best, maybe the best ever from a second baseman in MLB history. I think he plays in a generally weak position, so then it could also help him get into. Yeah, I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, John, what do you think about this?
Look, I love the man. Chase Utley, you were one of my favorite. You were one of my idols growing up. Like I loved watching you play, but I gotta say, it's a no from me. You gotta have a larger time span of being great, and sadly, those knees did ruin his career a little bit. It stopped him from producing. He didn't produce as much as he once was, and it sucks, but. It's just the way it is. The voters like to see stats, and I don't think he has the stats to get in.
All right, John, but going back to when the Phillies had their stretches of making it into the playoffs in the NLCS, do you believe that they could have won without Chase Utley and just Ryan Howard, J-Raw, and Shane Victorino?
No, I don't think that they could have won, but I think that they could have still gotten there and still put up a fight without Chase Utley.
What do you think about that, Matt?
No, I think definitely they wouldn't have won. I think the one thing we're discounting, and I think, Johnny, you said when you were talking about the injuries, and I think there's a lot of players in the Hall of Fame who don't have the resume to be in the Hall of Fame that he's way better than. And if those players are in, I think he deserves to get in. And I think you forget about, in 2009, I mean, he had one of the greatest postseasons we've seen from a second baseman ever.
Yeah.
So I think how he played in the postseason, how he carried himself, the stats he has in that 5-6 year span, and even at the end of the career, he added some value to the Dodgers. Not late in his career, but early on that. So I think he really has the resume to be in Cooperstown.
And then I'm pretty sure I read an article, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there an article you'd come in at like 5 a.m. to watch film at a 7 o'clock game or something like that?
And, I mean, I don't agree that a work ethic should influence if you should get into
Yeah.
Cooperstown, but I think it does with the way they do the Hall of Fame, and I think that's another discussion that they should refine who they let into the MLB Baseball Hall of Fame.
All right, that's time up for us, and in closing, I'm Connor McNeil here with Matt Dunn and John Zwislak. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.